Oh, morning at Fowleridge. I took Marley out at 7:30 this morning, but I didn't really feel like filming. So this is where we ate last night. Anyway, I think I mentioned that. The wharf at Fowleridge. Difficult to work out what to call it. Is it a restaurant? Is it a daytime cafe? Is it a... I don't know. Whatever it is, it wasn't bad. Right, we're going. But the issue I've got, and I think it's one that will irritate a number of people, is the menu was fairly restricted in terms of what they had on offer. In fact, I'll put it on screen. But here was the problem. There's no prices. It says prices from. And when you're in that situation, you don't really want to ask, do you? You don't really want to say, well, actually, you know, it says prices from, but how much actually am I going to end up paying for whatever it is? But I thought main courses, that's where we were sat, just in there. It's only little. Main courses from £10.95. That's all right, but I fancied a steak. So I ordered the rump steak. So the starters were all right. They're fairly basic. I had the garlic mushrooms, those in a nice enough sauce in a bowl. A couple of slices of bread. The only thing that let it down, I mean, the bread was all right. Bread was nice enough. It was warm, but it came with just one of those little foil wrapped butter things that you get in motorway service stations. But it was all right. Steak arrived. It was rare. It was kind of like what you'd call a Pittsburgh steak. In America, a Pittsburgh steak is kind of like burnt on the outside, but only for a couple of millimeters, and then sort of pretty much blue in the middle. This one was slightly more cooked than that. It was nice though. It was one of those, this is turning into a food review blog. It was one of those steaks that, you know, it's sometimes it was really thick, so it was difficult to carve, difficult to cut. Could have done with a serrated steak knife, but once in and once eating was beautiful, flavoursome, and quite tender. There's the rub. When the bill arrived, that steak that was from £10.95, I thought it was probably going to be about 14-15 quid. And steak arrived. It's Marley being his normal friendly self this morning. Bill arrived, £18.95. Now at a push, yeah, I would have said that's okay, that's good. But I don't like menus that don't have the price on. Worries me. So I've marked them down a little bit for that. The chips are okay. The chips were skin on, hand cut. Nice to see. The wine wasn't bad. It was reasonably priced. Hello. Hey. Hello. Hiya. Morning, Saturday morning on Leeds Liverpool. Love it. So there you go. That's my review of the wharf at Fowleridge, and it's a shame because everything was pretty darn good, apart from that shock with the sort of probably £3 overpriced steak. It was good though. It was a good steak. That's the disappointing thing about it. Oh look, that's a nice little shed, isn't it? So I would turn that into. Oh, it already is. Yeah, fair enough. I was about to say I'll stick it on wheels, and never mind. Yeah, right. So today, after that, and it was a nice meal. Oh, the other funny thing was they had this little waitress. You're supposed to call them waitresses, servers, whatever. Every time she brought something to the table, she'd put it down and go, enjoy. And by the end, it got to be, enjoy. And I thought, she's probably only about 18 or 19. She wants to be out partying on a Friday night, not serving miserable old fuckers like me a rump steak. But anyway, yeah. Today, first stop is Barnoldswick, where we've moored before, and the only reason for that is that there's an Aldi there. In towns you navigate by pubs, on the waterways you navigate by supermarkets. Also, anyone who's bought a Silent Night, I think it is, mattress, God I hope I'm not wrong, they're all made in Barnoldswick. They've got a huge mattress factory there. An asteroid hit it once. Well, it didn't matter because it bounced off and flew up, smashed into the moon. It's a 10-year-old told me that joke, you know. Well, the joke was 10-year-old told me was that an asteroid hit a mattress factory, but it was alright, it bounced off and hit the sun or something like that. Oh well, this is a long start to the daily vlog. Today or tomorrow early we will reach another milestone in this trip. We have already done the eastest part, the southernmost part and the westest part. Today or tomorrow we will do the northest part of this trip. I might have a little competition to win something from Barry that's made from Barry. Barry's down here, all safe and sound, tucked up, not too hot, not too cold, not too uncomfortable. Won't be brewing with Barry for a while yet though, until we get back to Sheffield. But we will be doing a couple of brews regardless when we get back to Sheffield, for a very special opening of the Boathouse Bar. Oh, look at that. We are leaving Lancashire. We must now be, by its very nature, in Yorkshire. So, where's the big welcome to Yorkshire sign? It wasn't on the other side of that bridge, I know that. So we're in Yorkshire now anyway, boys and girls. Not quite as proud to welcome people as Lancashire is. Did enjoy Lancashire, mostly. Well, that answers that question. Now we're in Yorkshire then. So there should be a nice big sign there somewhere. There's that on the bridge that says welcome to Lancashire. So we've now crossed over into Yorkshire officially. There should be a great big white rose saying welcome to Yorkshire. Do you want to know my God joke? My God joke. Not that I'm religious. There's there was a phone box in Lancashire, and had a little sign in the phone box saying, "Speak to God, 50 quid." And so you'd lift the receiver and say, "I want to speak to God," and they'd say, "Well, what's your credit card number?" They'd take your credit card number and they'd put you through to God. The guy's telling his mates, he's saying, "It's brilliant." He says, "I spoke to God, 50 quid. And his mate said, "Oh," he said, "you should have found that same phone box in Yorkshire." He said, "Why is that then?" He says, "It's only 10p. He said, "Really? Why is that?" He said, "Oh, it's a local call." Sorry. We're approaching a bend. This is normally where we would find another boat coming, but just thought I'd take another little bit of footage of one of these wonderful, whatever they're called, Leeds Liverpool flyboat, short boat, thingy, whatever. They're busy polishing his engine, look. Ooh, polish me brassware. I'll polish it as fast as I like. It's good practice. Onwards to Barnoldswick, which is only about 25-30 minutes away. Goodly. Well, I've just pulled over and waited for this lot to pass, and not one of them said thank you. He's at Barnoldswick, and a new addition seems to be that bloody phone box. How dare they? Mind you, it might have been here last time, I can't remember. So anyway, I'm going to moor up down there somewhere, because I need to go over a bridge down there to walk up into Barnoldswick. Someone find me a telephone box to go outside the boathouse. Still so tempted to get a tiny little boat like that just for playing around on. If it weren't for Canal and River Trust, I would have done it by now. There's another one. Oh, I really want a little boat like that. What a fun little thing. Oh. Need to go back to that thing, difference between want and need. There is a difference between want and need. I need a little boat like that. Going to get a broad beam through here. This will sound really strange, but I can smell the mattress factory. Doesn't that sound weird? You know that smell you sometimes get when you unwrap a new mattress? That's that smell. Ooh, coming up to the first set of locks now. There's only 3, I think, to start off with, and then there's 6 just before Gargrave. This is nice. another one of these historic Leeds Liverpool flyboat, short boat, whatever you want to call them, and then the boat we might be going down through the locks with. I'm not sure. It's got one of those puff engines that he was polishing when we passed him earlier. First 3 locks of the day completed. Came through with a boat called Friendship, who've had a boat for quite a while but haven't really been exploring very much, but they're both now retired, so plan to do some adventures. Brilliant, envy them. We are now headed toward, I can't remember what the locks are called, doesn't matter anyway. There's 6 there, and then that'll be the last for today. It's 1:30, so we've got plenty of time. We are now in hire boat territory though, so need to be aware that there might be some delays. Not because it's bad, it's just, you know, the way it is. Well, I think we're going to pull over for some lunch at some point. But look at this, what beautiful, how beautiful scenery is this? This is Yorkshire, boys and girls. This is Yorkshire. I do sometimes wonder, because that's not displaying any form of license. Oh, but it's better than being homeless, I suppose. That sort of boat, you could pick that up for right. Oh, I wish I'd have videoed that. He came herring towards this corner. This is where a dash cam would be handy. Herring towards this corner. I'm just drifting around, so I put the power on to come through. He smashed right into the side. I'm guessing that's not his boat. I'm guessing he's borrowed that. He's now about to smack into Friendship if he's not careful, but the speed he was coming down here, there's absolutely no way. He was gonna, I don't know if he was waiting for, you know, perhaps a speed ramp up the side or something. Fucking hell. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Not really sure what that's all about. Well, I think we're headed toward one of the interesting features on the Leeds and Liverpool Canal, which some people might have seen before in some of my other things that I've posted, but in terms of this here Great Escape 2021, I think it needs to go in because it's just interesting and a fun little thing. And I might be wrong, it might not be here. I don't know. Given that I very rarely know where I am, I think we're coming up to what's known as the Double Bridge. And the history behind that is there was a bridge, and then they upgraded the road or something, and the bridge was too low. Oh, slow down, it is a boat. So they then had to build a higher bridge or something or other, and so rather than demolishing one and building another, they built the new one on the old one. Phew, thank whatever it is here. The double bridge. We'll stop for lunch just after this. There's some moorings up here. Go to the toilet in the middle of the night on that. Anyway, yeah, sorry. So look, here we have double bridge on Leeds Liverpool Canal. Is it 141? Something like, I can't remember. Doesn't matter anyway. Yeah. What more can you say? Apart from it's a double bridge. How pretty is that? This is why I wouldn't want to be in a 60-foot broad beam coming down here, because the back deck is absolutely flooded by now. That was the bottom lock of Bank Newton locks, those 6. I think we're probably going to be mooring before the next set of locks, because that's that flight of 6, and then there's another flight of 6, but I think we're going to moor in between them. Oh, I do like that canoe. I like that canoe. I quite like this boat as well. It's got a bit of character to it. Marley, be quiet, darling. There's a good boy. Interesting little set. I like that canoe. I want that canoe. And then we've got, oh look, another canoe and a BCN. Well, it looks like a BCN. What an interesting little gathering of boats and nice canoes. I want a canoe like that. I want the one up there, that one. I want. Actually, I want a little boat more than anything else. Just a tiny little, you know, it's almost like a day boat, a play boat. And if it wasn't for the fact that I'd have to go and do battle with Canal and River Trust, I probably would have done it, but oof. Shouldn't be that way, should it? It shouldn't be that way. There's this whole thing, like, you know, the more you get stung by stinging nettles, the more you learn to avoid them. And that's kind of how I feel with the Canal and River Trust. It is, every time I think about having to deal with them, I can feel my blood pressure rising. I just feel like, you know, there's a lovely line in, nobody will remember it. There was a a sort of docudrama about militant tendency and whatever in Liverpool. And I think it was Robert Lindsay who played Wolfie Smith in Citizen Smith, who played the character of Derek Hatton. And there's a bit when it's coming to the end of his, you know, his reign, as it were, and Hatton, or Robert Lindsay playing Hatton. There's two memorable lines in it. One was, "I wish I'd bought a bigger shredder. They tried to sell me a bigger shredder. Why didn't I get a bigger shredder?" That's one of the lines. And the other line, the really wonderful line that I is so kind of pertinent, when everything is going wrong, absolutely everything, you know, the shit is really hitting the fan, everything's going wrong, he stops and stands there and says, "Bring me someone to hit." And that's how I feel when I have to deal with Canal and River Trust. It shouldn't be that way. It really shouldn't be that way. And much though I've always wanted, you know, I so wanted not to believe that, but every time I have to deal with them, I mean, like the Lockies and everything, they're brilliant, they're great, the people on the ground, fantastic. Anyone sat behind a desk, anyone in a decision making, has absolutely no experience of the waterways and no interest in boats. They really haven't. They've got interest in doing arts projects, which are good, you know, in encouraging cycling, which is good, you know. Boats, no. And boating businesses especially, they are so antagonistic towards boating business. I'm going off on one again, aren't I? But this is why we're packing it in, because of Canal and River Trust. We survived as a business for 14 years in spite of, not with any help from, in spite of, not with any help from. Find somewhere to moor up and have a beer. Look at me trying to be all creative and stuff. Pretty girls lying on top of boats notwithstanding, we decided we're going to plod on. We're going to do another 3 locks and get just that little bit closer to Skipton, Gargrave, Skipton. What's going to happen tomorrow is we're going to have a fairly late start. It is Sunday. Get to Skipton. I'm going to find a bottle shop, maybe not. Get to Skipton. Charlotte's then going to go back to Fowridge to get car. Then we'll have some lunch and fuck off back to Sheffield. Until next Friday. We haven't done too bad last couple of days. What's strange is that kind of flicking between Sheffield life and then boat life for such short amounts of time. Just as you kind of like get into boat life, you've got to go back to Sheffield life, and then just as you get back into Sheffield life, it's time to go back to the boat. I expect I'll get used to it. Maybe. Oh, this is quite reassuring. These are new builds, but at least they're trying to fit in with the heritage of Canal a bit. Well, more than some do anyway. And I know this is probably fake cladding on there, but you know what, it still looks better than just shitty brick. So good, whoever the developer is there, well done for at least attempting to well, they stopped that, darling. Attempting to fit in with the heritage of the canal. Even more interesting, that's going to have a sort of large open aspect window by the look of it. One thing's for sure, boys and girls, they ain't gonna be cheap. Ooh, and finished for the day. 6 o'clock, we're at Gargrave. And what a beautiful evening it has turned out to be. And you know, I've just had a look. This is day 60. Crumbs. How on earth did that happen? So day 60 of our little jaunt, even though we left in May. This is the 60th day. And little bits if you count the fact that we went Thursday night back to Reedley Marina. I didn't count that as a day, but it was another night on the boat. So it's still that 60th day of shut up. If you like this absolute twaddle and you haven't already done so, please do subscribe to the channel, give us a little thumbs up, and then that tells YouTube it might be worth recommending to other people. Oh, I'm so sorry if that's happened to you and whatever. But yeah, Gargrave, thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Whatever you're doing, please do it safely, and cheers.